Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? I am super excited for this video because I'm going to be doing a chatty get ready with me, just talking about life, mental health, makeup, dupes, just a bunch of different topics as we go. And I'm also going to be trying out a few new products today. Not everything was new, but I did have 3 things that I wanted to focus on a little bit. So I got the Ofra x Jen Loves Review collaboration in PR, so I did go ahead and try those liquid lipsticks out today. I also picked up the Salt New York cream bundle a little while back. I can show you what it looks like really quickly. This is not a first impression. I've been using it for a bit now, but I wanted to use that in today's video in case any of you are curious on my thoughts on those. And then also, super exciting, I got the Artemis palette from Alter Ego in PR, and this is supposed to be a dupe for the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette. So I've been excited to finally dig into this, see the quality. Let's just go ahead and jump on in. I'm not going to focus too much on the products today. I will have them all listed in the description box, but I already went ahead and threw on some primer off camera because, well, it technically was on camera. I was just being kind of awkward, so I decided not to include that in the footage. So I thought I would do a little bit of, I can't stop dropping things, of a life update today, because I told you guys that I moved, but I didn't really go super in depth with any information, just because honestly, I haven't done a chatty get ready with me in forever or felt like doing life updates or anything, because I've realized like the more that I am personal, the more I tell people, the more people feel like they have the right to an opinion on like my life and like what I should be doing. And basically what I'm trying to say is I just got a little bit sensitive to that and just realized that I wanted to be very careful about deciding what I share, what I don't share. But at the same time, I also don't want to be like super closed off. Like, it's okay to be vulnerable sometimes, and you never know like what connections you might be making with people or who you might be helping. So I don't know, it's like this very weird balance, especially as my YouTube channel grows, because it's still a crazy amount, but it's like talking about my personal life to 5,000 people, and then it's like talking about my personal life to 27,000 people. Like, that number just completely blows my mind. So it does make me more cautious, I would say. So I saw a few people congratulating me on moving out, getting my own place, which was an assumption, and it's not true. I actually am staying with my sister right now. She has a really large bonus room, so I'm renting. I'm a roommate, and it's perfect because I'm in a new state, in a state that I've never lived before, so it's giving me time to kind of get on my feet, get used to the area. But I am planning, hopefully, very beginning of 2021 to get my own place, and I'm just kind of getting my footing and also really enjoying spending time with my sister because she was in the military for a bit and we like lived all different places and we haven't really been close like in location in a while. My son and her son are also super close in age, so they're really good for each other and they teach each other and they're having a lot of fun. So it's a really good environment. I feel really like, I don't know, I feel like restored because I've always been filming at night or when my son was sleeping during his nap, which has been happening less and less because I would be at work normally when he was napping. So I was always filming like into the AM at night, and even though I'm a night owl and I feel more creative, it definitely gave me a really, really terrible sleep schedule. Like, I was barely sleeping at all, and I was kind of being a hermit because my life revolved around like work, being with my son, and doing YouTube. And that was like it. I just feel like I finally have like a normal schedule because I'm going to be filming in the morning, which is also nice because then I can do my makeup in the morning and have it last throughout the day, because before I was so busy that I just didn't have the energy to do my makeup in the morning and at night filming. So I like that I'll be able to wear my makeup more. I've been waking up at like 7, going to bed by like 11:30 each night. Basically, it just feels really good. I feel like I'm on a good schedule. I feel like it's helped my mental health a lot. So I'm happy. It is kind of the struggle right now because I'm refinishing some furniture, and it's my first time in my life doing that. Like, the whole process, sanding everything, messing things up, having to fix it, painting another coat, the top coat. So I'm in the process, and I cannot wait to make my background really personal and cute. And I found some really cute like antique furniture that I am refinishing that I feel like is going to be a super unique way to store makeup and also like super functional at the same time. So I cannot wait for you guys to see it, and then maybe I could do like a full makeup collection video and whatnot, because I haven't done one in forever, and it was just because my old space was so tight and packed and inconvenient and not really cute. So I'm excited for that opportunity. But right now, because I don't have the furniture ready yet, all of my makeup, except for the stuff I packed in my makeup bag, is still in boxes. So super inconvenient as far as videos go. So I'm a little bit limited right now to what I can film. But let's go ahead and do the Salt New York cream products now. I went ahead and set my face, but it was just like the center and it was very lightly, so I don't think that there should be any issues with putting cream over powder. Here are the 4 shades that I picked up. There's a highlight, 2 blushes, a bronzer, and I'll leave the shades down below. You can see the blushes look super, super messy, and that would be the heat. I'm assuming from living in the South now, I feel like I'm gonna have the makeup struggle of like things coming and like arriving and not being great condition because of the heat, which I'm not used to from being up north. And the brand did offer to replace them like multiple times. They messaged me and they were being super kind, but I said no because they're still functional. They're not aesthetically pleasing, but I really didn't want to have the waste of throwing away these products that, even though they don't look cute, they're perfectly fine, and then having more sent to me. Like, it just felt like there was no need. I was gonna say though that the thing with my Salt New York order is, even though the customer service was good about the the melted shades, I was really frustrated overall by my experience, because I think I pre-ordered these, and I'm super patient with pre-orders typically, but I pre-ordered these in February, I believe February 1st, and they were supposed to ship in May, which is fine. Like, that's a little bit of a wait, but I didn't really care because I was super excited to try this brand. But then the pandemic caused even more delays, and I think I saw them post on Instagram about it being delayed, but not once did they send an email ever, even though I didn't get it till, gosh, I want to say like mid-July is when I finally got mine, which, you know, May, June, July, that's like 2 extra months after already waiting several months. So I just felt like they definitely should have taken the time to send an email update and not just post on Instagram. I just feel like that's good customer service. So I was a little bit frustrated by that, but then I was even more frustrated because friend Karen Harris ordered, I believe, this exact kind of bundle with the 4 shades, the mini palette pre-order, and she ordered a month after me, and she got her order before mine even shipped. I'm like, how does that even happen? So I don't know, I just was not super happy about the buying process, but I am really liking the products. You can see the bronzer. This is the lightest shade. They have a bunch of shades for all the products. The owner, her name is Kiki G, I believe, and she does have a YouTube channel. She seems super nice, so it does make me feel a little bad being kind of critical of the process, but just being honest that if I was not super used to buying indie brands, if I was not super used to pre-ordering, and even though I am, I just don't think it was the best process anyways. So, but I am liking them, and I feel like they're easy to work with, easy to blend out. I love the BK Beauty 107 brush for cream products. I know I said I wasn't going to focus that much on the products, but I am going to focus a little bit more on the newer ones that I wanted to mention, and then everything else will be just whatever. I think I'm just going to go ahead and take this blush right here and just pick up a bit of it, because it is a cream product and I'm using a brush and not my fingers. It does take a little bit to pick up the product. If you use your fingers, the warmth will make the product a lot more pigmented, but I don't mind. I don't super love the highlight in here because it is extremely natural, a little bit too natural for me, and it didn't wear that well, but I do like the blush and the bronzer a lot. It's also funny with my face having to get used to being in the heat again, because I don't normally have issues with my makeup breaking down, and the other day I wore just Tarte Shape Tape as my primer for my eyes, and my makeup looked so bad at the end of the day. And then like an eyeliner that I love that never transfers on me was like all the way down here. My mascara was all up here, which I don't even know. I guess maybe I should put a little bit of powder down extra. I don't know. I have to get used to the heat. Maybe it'll help if I put some of the eye primer under my eye as well. So jumping into the palette, honestly, I'm a little bit overwhelmed on what to do today because I was looking at this palette and I feel like it's such a fall palette. And when I was getting dressed, I was looking at all my summer shirts and I'm like, how do I make this work? So I have this little tank top on that has like a mixture of blue and brown, and I thought maybe I could do like a brown crease with the pop of blue on the lid. I know that's so basic. To tell you the colors I'm going to use really quickly, that way we can keep chatting. I'm going to take this shade right here called Entice in my crease. I'm going to use the shade Lure on my outer V, Victory all over the lid. I'm so excited about this palette and there being like a really affordable option for this color story because, you know, there's always the conversation about dupes and how ethical they are, and I'm of the mind that dupes, where it's a big brand duping a small brand or a small brand duping a big brand, are completely different, especially when they're making something accessible that a lot of people would not have been able to have otherwise. I do appreciate that, even though, I mean, it's obvious what it's duping. It is not the same names, it's not the same packaging, it's not the same layout. I feel like the way Makeup Revolution does it, although again they're making things more accessible, it's just like copy paste, and I don't super love that. I figured I could tell you guys about my terrible day yesterday just because, you know, everyone has terrible days sometimes. So I've been anxious for like the past week because I knew I had to go to the DMV, and I mean, I don't love going, I mean, nobody likes going to the DMV, let's be honest, but I don't love it. And then on top of it being, you know, the pandemic and stuff, I was just like, I don't even know how it's gonna be. Like, I was super anxious about it, and like, it's silly, but I even like wrote out a list in my phone to help me, and it was like a list of exactly what I'm gonna do. And then there was like reminders in the middle of everything's gonna be okay, you're gonna go home, life is gonna be fine. Like, I just have to like give myself those positive affirmations when I'm feeling anxious, because if I don't, it'll just keep spiraling. I like had my whole day planned out, and it started with realizing that a paper that I needed had to be notarized and I hadn't realized, so I had to change which DMV I was going to go to because I didn't want to go to the one super near me because it's a bigger city. I'm not comfortable driving there yet. I have driving anxiety as well. I'm a mess. So I drove to a different city, and I was specifically going to a UPS store to get it notarized, and I went inside and they're like, yeah, our notary's not in, you can come back at 2. And I'm like, I just drove 40 minutes to be here. So then I'm like calling all around trying to find somewhere that does notaries. Normally you can go to your personal bank and they'll do it for free, but my bank is in that big city that I didn't want to drive to. So I was kind of at a loss, and luckily I was able to find someone who would do it, and the lady was actually super sweet, so it was fine. But anyways, I go to the DMV there, and I realize that it's appointments only, which wasn't online. Gotta love government websites. So the reason I was super stressed was because I had a title that I needed to turn in within a certain amount of time. So I decided to go ahead and go to a license plate agency because they do like titles, tags, license plates, and I knew I couldn't do my driver's license switchover yesterday. But I figured at least if I can turn in the title, it'll be fine. Like, I can get it in before that date. And so I go to the license plate agency, and luckily it was not appointments, but unluckily there was a line that was like all the way around the entire building. I mean, everyone was 6 feet apart from each other because it was social distancing. So it wasn't like that big of a line, but it felt like a huge line because of the distance in between each person. And it was outside in the heat in the middle of the day, like 1 p.m. or something like that. So I stood in that line for like 30 minutes. I was sweating. I was just stressed. And whenever I finally got in, I went and talked to the lady there and I'm like, is there any way I can turn in this title? So she's like, no problem. I just need to see your license. And I'm like, my license is from Pennsylvania. I couldn't go to the DMV yet. Is that okay? And she's like, yeah, no, we can't process this. And then I just like, you know that feeling when you know you're about to cry and like your whole throat just starts like closing up and you like feel dry and you're like, like trying not to cry. And I'm like, I'm just trying to get it before the day. You know, and luckily she was like, I've seen people turn these in years later. Like the 20-day date doesn't even actually really matter. As long as you get the license, you can turn this in, you know, get an appointment at the DMV, it'll be fine. Like she was super nice, but I just like turned away and started crying as I was walking out the building because I was so stressed out and I felt like I wasted my whole day. I was driving all over just to be like, oh, the 20 days doesn't actually matter. Because I mean, I'm sure it was like super fine print. I'm sure most people wouldn't have even followed it, but I'm definitely like very, what is it? Is it lawful good? Like I like to stick to the rules. I like to do what I'm supposed to do. So yeah, I'm still even a little stressed about it. Like I have this image in my mind that I'm gonna get my license. I'm gonna try to turn the title in and they're gonna be like, we can't take this, it's past 20 days. Like, I feel like that's gonna be my luck. So yeah, I got an appointment at the end of the month at the DMV, so I have to do it all over again, but hopefully next time it'll be a lot smoother. Like, just right off the bat, judging this shade Lure, the darkest brown, I feel like the one in the Natasha palette is definitely quite a bit darker. Has a lot more depth to it, which I think, if I remember correctly, that was one of my criticisms of the Goddess palette as well, that the tones didn't go quite as deep as the Natasha shades. Go ahead, do some glitter glue before the blue, just because I really don't want blue fallout all over my face. Also, just to let you know, for future videos and today's video and everything, if you hear sounds in the background, that's literally because there's 3 toddlers running around downstairs. Kids are gonna be kids, they're gonna make noise. My mic cancels noises out to a certain extent, but not completely. I am looking into if there's anything I could put on the door to kind of help be a little bit more of a noise barrier, but I don't know, I'm trying not to stress about it because it's real life. It is what it is. Okay, that's pretty. I'm not sure if I actually want to put that all over my entire lid. Maybe I'll just keep that on the like middle to outer part and do something a little bit lighter on the front. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and take that shade Scent on the front of the lid. I just keep looking at this palette and thinking how excited I am for fall and sweaters. It's just like the warm makeup looks. I feel like majority of the time I don't really care about whether my makeup matches the season. Like I really don't. But fall going into it always inspires me. Alright, last but not least, I'm going to take that shade Obscure and use that to highlight my inner corner and my brow bone. I'm feeling so far like this is pretty, but I'm not sure if I would say the shimmers are quite the same level as the Natasha Metropolis. So I think I'm still probably going to end up preferring the Metropolis, but I definitely am interested in testing this out further. And if you would like me to do a video comparing this palette to the Metropolis palette, which I actually have right here, I was ready. Go ahead and show you what they look like next to one another. I can do it in the exact same format that I did the Alter Ego Goddess versus the Natasha Gold palette video, which I can link right here for you in case you haven't seen that, because I went super in depth. It was a pretty long video, but I felt very proud of that one. I thought it was super helpful. But here's what the two look like, and if I do that kind of comparison, I will probably, I don't know, I'll move one of the palettes around so that the shades are the same order, because these are both magnetic palettes. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and quickly finish up my eyes with some mascara. Just using the We Makeup one because I'm obsessed. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and go into the Salt New York highlighter just to show y'all what it looks like on the skin. I am going to pick it up with my finger. And, I don't know. I just feel like it's super icy I mean, actually, it looks a little bit prettier here with the studio lights, but just wearing it in real life, I don't love this one as much. But it looks pretty right now. But like I said, didn't wear that well for me, and typically I don't have that issue. I think I am going to go ahead and top it with a powder highlight. Also, I should say that I love the packaging on this palette. Like, it is so sleek. It has a magnet, actually, in case you're curious. It's a magnet and it zippers closed. I actually do want to buy another one of these. I think I'm going to go ahead and take one of my Lethal Cosmetics highlighters. I'm just going to take the shade Ionic and use that to top this highlight real quick. On to the last product for today. I would actually really love to do setting spray, but I have no idea where any of my setting spray is right now. So let's go ahead and try out the Jen Loves Review lipstick bundle. I'm so excited about this. Whenever I got it in the mail, I literally like ran into my house. I was jumping for joy. I was not expecting to receive this in PR. So I was so happy. I haven't used it yet just because it is liquid lipsticks and I've been mostly just wearing chapstick because either I'm in the house or if I leave I'm wearing a mask, and if it's like, I don't know, I don't wear liquid lipstick for myself, let's be honest. That's what I've decided. I'll still wear gloss under a mask, but not liquid lipstick. So the point of this lip set is to make any lipsticks you already have work for you more. So there's one I believe that's supposed to deepen. There's one I believe that's supposed to kind of neutralize. And then there's one that's supposed to lighten, which I think that the idea of this is super cool. Technically, you can mix any lip products together, but these were specifically, like, the tones were made to work for what I just said. So I actually really want to try the shade Revive, the lightest one, by itself, because typically when people try liquid lipsticks and they're super light, because I'm so fair, when I try that same shade, it's like a really good nude for me. So I just want to see if I can wear this on its own because it's a little bit pink, but I'm curious. I'll try it, and if I don't like it, we can add something to it, right? That's the whole point. Okay, that is very light. I feel like if I went in with a darker lip liner, I could make it work, but it's definitely a mixing shade for me too. I was wrong. So I think maybe I'll take a little tiny bit of the shade Refine and just add it just to make it more of a wearable color, maybe. Okay. And that actually mixed super easy. Maybe I'll do just a little bit more. That's actually super pretty and super easy to do, I'm sure. So this is the finished look, and I do like how it turned out, but honestly, I feel like I was forcing myself to do something a little bit colorful, even though I've just been wanting to wear neutrals recently. I've just been super into them, and even now I'm looking at this look and I'm like, this lip with the Sydney Grace Cosmetics Enduring Love palette, like I feel like if I put, I don't know, one of these like cool tones in the crease, John all over the lid, like that with this lip, I'm feeling it. Maybe that's what I'll do tomorrow. So I like it, but I'm not like feeling it that much. It's fine. I don't know, we all go through makeup phases, right? That's pretty much everything for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked that it was a little bit more chatty, a little bit more laid back. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.